they took Angler, 1 colorless, 1 blue for a 2/1 human peasant creature. And, well, that's it. But it has Disturb for 2, and the other size, 2, meaning 1 blue, 1 white, 1 colorless. And it's a Hook Haunt Drifter, which is a 1/2 with flying. And, yeah, obviously if you die, it gets exiled instead. Well, that's pretty rubbish, because it's 2/1 on the front, and when it becomes evasive, it becomes a 1/2, which is pretty shite. But all in all, I mean, it's a 2 for 1, so I'll just give it a C.
Scotty?
Yeah, I don't. Oh, shoot! I reset the grade one. I shouldn't have. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, it's solid, not super impactful on the backside, but it's value. It's no value nonetheless. Got this at a C.
Yeah, see. This has a nice front side, right? To 1 trade. But the 1/2 is pretty like, eh. So, yeah, sure. But it is, again, 2 mana to get it. I really wish there was a lot of sacrifice in this format. I think that would bring it up to even a higher level. I think that's what it lacks, even though it's already super complex, probably.
We're all on C?
Yep. Component Collector for 2 and a blue. It's a 1/4, and it becomes day as it enters the battlefield if it's neither day or night. Can we just say it triggers the day or night cycle? Let's read it. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you may tap or untap target non-land permanent.
I think you say that in a second, saying it a different way. So let's just read what it says.
Yeah, that's true. So, important thing to note here is when it's your opponent's turn, it becomes the night and day changes after the untap step, right? Yes.
Yeah, nothing happens before untap.
Yeah.
Yep.
It changes after the untap step. Which means if you trigger the change on day or night, the opponent's creature is gonna be removed for the following turn. The problem is this is not that consistent. This is not that consistent. So it is 1/4 is not a nice stat line, I think. It's really inconsistent when you're gonna do this. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, it triggers on untap.
What do you mean triggers on untap?
No, it's upkeep. It's upkeep that day night triggers.
It's after the untap. After the untap.
Yeah, it's untap, then the trigger.
Yeah.
In upkeep.
I'm gonna give it a D+. This is probably gonna go down to a D. I don't see it as being really good. I don't see the day-night changing that much. From the sideboard, sometimes if I expect my opponent to want it to change a lot, I am gonna be getting it in a deck. Because I could be tapping 2 creatures, like 1 on their turn, 2nd on mine sometimes, so that it's 2 things so I can attack better. It could be okay against not black-red, but green-red, where you're trying to not have the night and they're trying to have the night, so that could be interesting. That could be very interesting. Like, I'm gonna go to D+. I think this is a sideboard card. I think this is like against werewolves if they are trying to trigger the night, and you can get that card advantage of drawing and playing more cards. Then you're gonna have 2 of them tapped when you're attacking and 1 tapped on their turn. So I think it's sideboard grade if you guys want that. Wait, that's a live stream? Is that a live stream?
It's a little clip.
Ah, it's a clip, okay.
It's my puppy Mobieus! I disagree with sideboard, and this is a D.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give this a D+, and I don't want a sideboard clip.
Okay.
What did you give it, Lola?
D+.
Yeah, I don't like this card. Even though the art is cute, but no.
Consider. For 1, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Draw a card. Not many things care about this. Like in the easy deck, it can be something. Gonna give it a D+. I mean, it cycles, but who cares about this card really? Gets better in certain archetypes, but early on, it's really something you don't want to get. C+ from chat?
I mean,
D from chat? Okay.
I mean, this should be like a C-, I think. You want this in most of your blue decks.
I don't know.
Playing 2 spells matters to make it day again. You usually don't want it to be night, I think. If you're Azorius especially, probably if you're Simic,
green or blue,
maybe if you're Dimir. But other than that, it's just a double spell in it. And is it, you want it? I think you want this card more than usual. So I'm going to put it at a C-.
Can I just say one thing? I don't think it's you don't want day or night. Like the red and green are the colors that sometimes care about going to night. Like sometimes you're gonna be caring about night, sometimes the opponent is gonna be caring about night. And it's not like you don't want it. If you're Izzet, you want night when you have some werewolves. If you're Simic, you want night when you get some werewolves. Maybe your opponent has more than you, maybe they don't. Like it really depends on what's happening on the board.
Sure, but this lets you decide, right? You can play this.
Yeah, and you can play it on the opponent's turn as well, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just cycle.
It's just an opt on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Like a slightly better opt for this set because you can put a what's it called? A disturb card in your graveyard or a
Disturb flashback.
Disturb flashback. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's decent. C-.
I think this
You
does
give it a
enough.
D?
C-.
Okay.
Lola?
I give it a D+.
D+, okay.
I mean,
I
like
think
the blue-red
it's
archetype is literally like casting a bunch of spells. So.
Yeah.
The Izzet archetype, right?
Yep. Is it? Yep.
Yeah. Devious cover up. I mean, but I don't think it's a. Okay. Devious cover up. 2 and a blue and a blue. This is the reprint. Last time we saw it was Guilds of Ravnica. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard, which is pretty cool. Better than it was in Guilds of Ravnica. You may shuffle up to 4 target cards from your graveyard into your library. So multiple of these lets you shuffle things back, which is pretty cool. Like, if you're self-milling a bit too much, A+ from chat. The hell? If you're milling yourself a bit too much and so on, like we had Surveillance, Guilds of Ravnica, Dimir, that was kind of similar. If the game goes too long, you can get back. And these, if you have more than one Devious cover-up, they can infinitely loop one another. So that's pretty cool. But after you mill the second one, it's because this is not Surveil, it is mill. You cannot do it again, which doesn't matter that much. So I like this card, makes your deck better, but it really depends on the speed of the format and how good you can assemble your early game to keep this card up, and how many flash cards, instant speed cards you are gonna have. So I'm gonna start it as a D+, and really depends on how your deck is looking, because I don't think if you're in Guilds of Ravnica, if you're Dimir, you had a very, very similar game plan almost always. Here I don't think every blue deck is going to have the same game plan, so yeah. Yeah,
I agree with that. But I'm going to start this off on a C-. If you're playing blue, having 2 of these is just going to give you an alternate win con, so it's nice to have. Like, people really underestimated this the first time it came around. Let's see if they do that again. I think I tweeted it as well. Like, it's just, on the face of it, this might not look that impactful, but in a game of limited, when you only have 40 cards, of which like 16, 17 are lands, put in your 4 best cards. If you're not already putting another Devious cover up in your deck, your best cards from your graveyard is pretty impactful. Exiling their card is also impactful sometimes. C- to start, and if your deck wants this, it's going to go up a lot to probably C+, B-. But it's just, I mean, it's an alternate win con, isn't it?
A note that I don't think is insignificant, and probably why Lola was saying it was better in this set than in Guilds of Ravnica, is that if you have ways to shred or mill your own deck, right, the smaller your deck is, the more impactful the shuffle is.
Yeah.
Because the more often you see your hitters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think even if you have one devious cover up, shuffling 4 of your best cards in is still quite powerful. Like, you don't even need to loop this for the effect to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this has a lot going for this. I'll be optimistic and put this at a C-.
Could
Okay.
go up to C minus, definitely. If you can play this in most of your blue decks. But you need the set doesn't if it's not too aggressive, it gets better. Plus if it is aggressive, if your blue decks can get that early ground and keep the mana up. Okay. Drownyard Amalgam. Sorry, did you guys have anything else to say?
Nope.
Nope.
Alright. Drownyard Amalgam. For 4 and a blue, it's a 3/6 zombie, and when it enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards, probably you most of the time. Because you don't want to give opponent extra resources. For 2, but maybe sometimes you're gonna finish the game with this, like mill them. For 2 and a blue, this creature cannot be blocked this turn. Oh, for 3 mana. Okay, 3/6 is a pretty decent stat line for something that mills you and can be unblockable. It's nothing crazy, but I think it's completely fine. I'm gonna start it off as a C-. It is a 5-drop, you cannot put too many of these in your deck. Could go up, could go up. 3/6 is big.
Yeah, Ashiok Skulker was 4 mana to make it unblockable, right? And it was 3/5.
Yeah, it was
5?
3/5 and it didn't mill.
That's some bullshit, man. What is this power creep? Is this Yu-Gi-Oh? Also, I'm just gonna give this a C.
Yeah, but Ashiok Skulker was like me. Still playable,
What?
still playable. It was nothing special, but still playable. And there were planeswalkers, right? Getting unblockable once there could mean that opponent has like you kill half of their card, or even more than half. You're not gonna be hitting planeswalker with this. What do you say, Scotty?
I just think this card does enough where it's actually better than it looks. It kind of looks super replaceable, but I think it pulls enough weight for it to be a C-.
Yeah, same. It
This
does
is- I
enough.
think
It really
This
does
is
enough.
just one of those cards that I've seen so many times and be like, oh, that's not super impressive, and then you actually see it play out, and it's like, wow, that's actually kind of big
Yeah.
and kind of dangerous.
What has the world come to when I'm rating a mill card better than you guys?
That's true, but I think this is because you can choose who gets milled. And your
Well, I'm
opponent is-
milling myself.
Oh my god!
I
I'm
may
sorry.
hate mill, but I'm not an idiot. I'm gonna mill myself.
This Oh, I can imagine you, Mobieus, like clicking on yourself with this. It's like, oh, you can mill opponent, you can mill him and mill their
Yeah, I die a
best.
little bit inside every time. It's fair.
Yeah, you can mill their best cards.
Oh shit.
So Falcon Abomination for 2 and a blue. It's
Hold
a
up. Go back. I am putting grades in the wrong columns, in the wrong rows. We did... Yeah. Okay, it's all good. Go ahead.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay. Falcon Abomination for 2 and a blue. It's a 2/2 flying that creates a 2/2 black zombie with Decade. I'm gonna say this once. Decade. Basically, the 2/2 black zombies tokens have Decade in this set. What Decade means is that they cannot block, which is huge, and that they get sacrificed if they attacked at the end of that combat phase. Which is pretty huge. All of those are huge. This is not a 2/2. If this was a flying 2/2 that made it just a 2/2, that would be completely busted. That would be wrong to make. But this is not it. If this would be a 2/2 that created a 1/1, that would be incredibly more powerful than this card. So yeah. These zombies, what, flashbacks to War of the Spark? Yeah, we just had an upgrade over War of the Spark and now a downgrade on War of the Spark. But yeah, it's still good. I think this is just a C+. I like it.
The flavor text of this says the foulest of foul.
Yeah. It's true.
Hilarious.
Did you guys notice
I
it?
agree with most of what you said. Also, the art of this, the bird has a face, a human face, and the person has a bird face.
Zombie. This was a zombie that made the bird.
Yes. What? I'm confused.
That was not a human.
Anyway.
That was a zombie, right?
Huh?
Because the bird doesn't have a human face. It has a zombie face.
Well, the zombie was a human.
At one point, maybe at one point.
Yes. Anyway, C+.
I'll be on C. I'll be
Yeah.
on C. I'm not as hot on this. I still think that this is value, but solid role player.
Really?
I'm going to the
Yep.
C as well.
What's-
Let's
Really?
you know why don't we take a pause to just knock some decayed stuff, decayed mechanics out? Just because I don't think we actually talked about it, and this is sort of the first time we see a sort of fundamental decayed role player. Decayed zombies, as Lola said, not blocking is huge. They're actually not incredibly close to normal creatures, because creatures in Magic the Gathering, their primary function is attacking and blocking, involving themselves in combat, which decayed zombies just don't do. So they're fundamentally pretty different from just creatures. The way that decayed zombies are going to play out is twofold for me. Let's talk about the most common case first. They're going to sit around. You're going to get incremental value off of them by tapping them for some abilities. You're going to sacrifice them sometimes for some abilities.
Yes.
Other than that, they're just going to sit around until you make a relatively large attack and kill your opponent. That's sort of how decayed zombies are going to play out. Second case scenario is where you're going to estimate that your opponent is going to play something that blocks decayed zombies, but you're very aggressive, so you want to attack the decayed zombies early. Just turn them into shocks to the face. Those are the two cases I see for decayed zombies. Most of the time, they're going to sit around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to get triggers off them dying after you attack.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
It's like-
for morbid stuff.
They serve a purpose, but in vacuum they're pretty weak. It's nice to sack them, but not many sack effects, so that's nice thing, as Scotty said. Attacking and blocking is blocking is impossible. Attacking is nothing special with them, and there are things that Scotty also mentioned that like tap 3 creatures and do something, which is fine. You can sack them after damage in combat, right? Yes, but I mean, nothing is really gonna sack them is the thing. So, yeah, I'm sad about the set effects. I wish this set had more. I'm also on a C. I'm on a C, because yeah, they're not real creatures. They're not 2/2s. Any 1/1 human is infinitely better than this 2/2 zombie. Infinitely better.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's
Flip-
talk about flip the switch. Oh no, sorry, that's Lola.
No problem. Flip the switch for 2 and a blue, counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with decayed. I don't like this. Gonna give this a D. A counter spell if you really need it. Nothing special.
I'm going to give this a D-. This is not a counterspell.
G.
Punk. Gale Drifter for 3 and a blue. It's a 3/2 flyer. Normal thing that was in a lot of sets very nice, but this is pretty high power set. But when it dies for 5 mana, you make a 2/2 flyer. With Disturb. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Gonna give this a C, but I can see it going maybe up or down a little bit, but I'm gonna start it off as a C. It's pretty good, like 3/2 flyer is fine for 4, and then 2/2 flyer later on in the game is not bad. It is evasion, so cool, why not? C. Maybe even a C+.
I agree with C.
But starting it off as a C.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, C is fine. C is fine.
Okay. Geist Wave for 1 and a blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control that permanent, draw a card. So if you save your creature from removal, you get an extra card. Pretty cool. It's a bounce spell, it's serviceable. I'm okay with a D+ for this.
Non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control that permanent, draw a card. Blah 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 blah. I think that ends up putting this at a D still. I don't really want this. I'm gonna put it at a D.
I think this is flexible enough to give me a D+. I think this is okay.
It gets much better if it's worthwhile to bounce your thing.
Yeah, for like ATBs or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's an unexciting way to get incremental value. But for the most part, just having the option of leaving this up and seeing like, hey, I'm relatively safe versus shenanigans is sort of the main aspect.
Yeah, fair enough.
Larder Zombie. A blue for 1/3 defender. And you tap 3 untapped creatures you control, look at the top card of your library, you may put it into your graveyard. So Surveil 1. That's pretty cool with the zombies. Now that's a fine effect to use the zombies for until they're ready to attack or get sacked or something. Yeah, I'm okay with this card. I'm gonna give it a D+. I don't think, like, you don't need more than 1 usually. It cannot attack. But it's okay. Maybe activates Coven sometimes if your white or green card like if you're into Simic or you're into Azorius. So yeah, I'm on a D+. It's okay with Flashback, with Disturb, but I can see it going down to a D.
Fair enough. I can see it going down to a D as well, but I'll start it off on the D+. I think this might be a little bit of a role player. You don't want
It's
too
like
many of them.
tapping 3 untapped things is a lot of times it's no cost, right? It's just like
Yeah.
opponent ends the turn and you tap those things, and
Yeah. Well, 2 other creatures because it taps itself as well.
exactly, yeah, you just need 2 more. So that's not bad at all. So I don't think this deserves a D rating. Like the solid D, like D+ seems nice for it.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with D. I think the effect is pretty good though. I agree with everything that's said. I don't really want a lot of these. This in multiples is pretty brutal, especially since like it doesn't add redundancy, having different types of this effect or having differences of this effect. Right, the resources of tapping creatures is limited, and it's not like having the second one adds more. Right, the second one's just a 1/3 with a body.
Yeah.
But this is fine. D for me. Pretty stinking, pretty stinking demoralizing if your opponent leads off with this and you're trying to beat down with 2/2s.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
That's
the
true.
ideal situation.
Or 3/1.
Yep.
It's not demoralizing, but I mean, their 1-drop is gonna block it. Locked in the Cemetery for 1 and a blue, enchant creature. When Locked in the Cemetery enters the battlefield, if there are 5 or more cards in your graveyard, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So self-mill helps. Playing the game of Magic also helps, because you're going to be putting cards in the graveyard. Flashback and Disturbed cards are going to leave the graveyard, so it's going to be a bit harder. So like the bottom line is ice over, and it can get a lot better. Not a biggest fan of these tap effects with bounce, especially in best of 3, like where you can get in bounce, or you can maybe sack it for something. Again, not as many sack things, but I'm okay with this. I'm gonna C.
Okay. I'm going to start it off slightly higher at a C+. I think if you were in, I don't know, blue-green or something, you might need this as a removal. I don't know.
Blue-black is probably the easiest way to put things in the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe blue-eye as well wants this.
Woof,
Yeah, it's not
woof.
great.
Oh, sorry.
Like, almost every archetype punishes Locked in a Cemetery. It's so brutal. The card stays on the battlefield for Coven. You can sacrifice it. There's a decent amount of enchantment artifact hate just incidentally, just strewn throughout.
Oh, that's true. I'll put it
Just
down
like
to C. You're right.
self-bounce that you can draw a card when you bounce your own creature. Woof. C-.
Okay, I'm fine with this. Leaving it on a C. Like usually in any like normal set, let's say usual set, this can go up to a C+ with enough self-mill. But yeah, there is a lot of things that kind of fucks this card up.
Fair enough.
Organ Hoarder for 3 and a blue. Okay, actually no, put it on a C- for me as well. Like, I'm not very happy lately. Like before, it's like kind of staying with me. Like before, these tap effects were pretty damn good. It was hard to get rid of them. Yeah, lately it's been kind of different. Did you put it on a C- Mobieus for me?
Yes.
Thanks, man. Organ Hoarder for 3 and a blue, so that's 4 mana in total. It's a 3/2 zombie. And when Organ Hoarder enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Then put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Wow, wow, wee wee. This is Joraga Visionary on steroids. It's a zombie, which matters sometimes. It's the same stats, like 3/2. you get a card selection, and you can put flashback cards in your graveyard, creatures to get later, and disturb cards in your graveyard. B-, I love this card.
Well, I'm just gonna give it a B. Visionary was... It was weird. I feel like when Zendikar first came out, Visionary was not as popular as it was by the end of it. Because I think people found out the hard way playing against somebody who just kept plopping down Visionaries, which had a relevant body. 3/2 is relevant. And then replace itself immediately was super tough to deal with. So yeah, I'm just going to put this on a B because this is slightly better than that. And it's more synergistic with this set. Like,
this card has a lot going for it.
Yeah.
all the synergies.
Sometimes it's just gonna like draw you quote unquote multiple cards by milling graveyard matter stuffs. It's so much easier to chain these because you get to dig for them.
Yeah.
Like just see an Organ Hoarder and a flashback card, grab your second Organ Hoarder. This card is nice.
Yeah.
This card is real nice. I'm gonna still put it at B-, but this card is surprised it's a common.
Yeah. I'm also very surprised. There are a few cards that I'm surprised they're common, but I'm happy they're common because they're not like just crazy powerful stupid. I mean, it's just a little bit interesting effects like this. Like you gotta select the card, you gotta make the deck very profit even more from it. So pretty damn powerful.
I think it's really nice to see these kind of powerful cards at common because this is the kind of stuff that will reward you for reading signals and going into the right lanes. Because even though people might be forcing their colors or choosing a color because they've got a nice rare or mythic or whatever, if you notice that they're abandoning other colors, you're going to get some premium commons that will make your deck as good as, if not better than, the guys who are just forcing whatever color their mythics are.
Yeah.
Which is what makes like limited really good, I think.
Yeah. This seems like it's going to be an amazing limited set. I gotta say that. Otherworldly Gaze. For blue, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on the top of your library in any order. Flashback for 2. I don't know if I can give this a D- even.
The fact that this has flashback does not excuse not replacing itself.
Can you guys convince me to give it a D-?
How much scry is worth a draw for you?
2. But
no.
This costs 3 mana to do it twice, which is 2
not worth it.
by 1 mana. So
2? Then this is draw card plus.
No, yeah, this is not 2. This is like draw card and a half. Let's draw 3 cards for 3 mana. If it's 2, then this is amazing. Because this is better than Scry.
What?
This is
no. How much Scry is worth a draw? Like, at what point do you if you have a modal card that says draw 1 card or Scry X cards, at what mode do you pick the Scry? I mean, I understand it's different in different scenarios, but like, try to play with me in a vacuum here.
6.
Okay. So if it's in a vacuum, scry or draw, how much scry is equivalent to draw in that vacuum?
Yeah, and then surveil is a little bit better than that.
I would say 4.
5.
I want 4 scry before I pick it over a draw 1.
5 or 6.
That's a high number.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the 4 drops that were 3/3 scry 3. Those were like, okay.
Meh.
And 4 drops that are 3/3 draw a card were like, yeah, man.
That's the difference, yeah.
So it's definitely a lot higher than 3.
Scry 3 is not better than draw 1 because like it might sound better than it because often we equate scrying to drawing half a card, but in actuality in a limited game it's not always like that because the scry becomes more powerful the longer the game goes, and drawing is always powerful.
Yeah, and scry can
right
be
from the onset.
Like there are a lot of situations where like scrying 2 or 3 is nothing that special, but just if you can multiple times scry few or multiple times draw a card, it's just not even close. Like always multiple times draw a card is going to be really good for you.
Yeah, that's why I said scry 4. I want scry 4 above a draw 1.
I want a 5 or 6.
But yeah, this is not a good card in conclusion. Did you want to give it a D- or an F? I'm on a D-.
Do you guys have anything to give me to make this not an F? Like in Is it can trigger something.
I was gonna say Is it.
But there are not even many things to trigger.
Well, in Is it gives you a spell which is a non-creature spell, like instant sorcery, and it gives you flashback maybe, and it gives you maybe land on top, and it gives you maybe disturb in the graveyard if you need it. So that's why I've put it on or kind of playable, just about playable, D-. But that's it. That's as far as I'm going with this card.
I'm just getting
D-.
an F. I'm getting an F.
Okay,
I'm getting an F. Maybe it goes to D-. Like, that's the ceiling of it. So.
that's fine. Let's move on.
Alright. Revenge of the Drowned. 3 and a blue. Instant speed. Target creature's owner puts... Okay. Target... It's kind of weirdly worded. Target creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. You create a 2/2 black zombie with Decade. Okay, this is like totally lost, but they can choose where to put it, which is a little bit worse, but I mean, you're probably removing the best card, so better than total loss, because it costs 1 less, which is huge. Makes you a zombie, that is nothing that special. Again, if every zombie was a 1/1, all of these cards would be much better. Still a playable card. I'm on a D. It doesn't lose you a card, right? And you do create it zombies, maybe it matters. I'm on a D. I'm on a D. Just D. D.
Okay. I'll give it a D- for synergies with Decade and stuff. Otherwise, I don't want to play this card.
Well, I don't think this card is that bad.
Yeah.
4 mana interaction, it's still 1-for-1, even though you don't answer something directly. I'm still fine sort of trading with this and getting incremental value. I think this is a lot better than a D for me. I'm going to put this at a C.
Oh, that's big.
Oof. Oof.
Not sure about it. What if you didn't create a zombie, Scotty?
Then I'd put it at like a C-.
Oh! Interesting.
I think
As
a
long as
base
it's not
card,
worth
this for 4 mana at a base card is not that bad.
Okay. Cool.
Like, it's going to trade down. It's like not going to trade well on mana most of the time, right? But it still trades even on cards most of the time. And I think for Fundamentals Limited, that's fine. That's a piece of instant speed interaction.
Interesting.
I think the mana cost is very relevant, right? Because otherwise we'd be giving our combat tricks and shit a lot higher grades, regardless of their mana. Like, mana cost is so important when we're looking at instant speed interaction with our combat tricks. Why is it not that important? Because this is just a 1-for-1. I don't think that counts, or not counts. I don't think that's.
Like,
I think it's
Bearing
misleading to rate
Bearing
it like
Books is
that
like infinitely
for
better
people.
than this card.
This is not worth it because your opponent gets the choice. So they decide if that card's worth putting on the top of their deck or on the bottom, and then just draw naturally.
Yeah.
And
But it's a small thing.
the best thing you're getting for that is a decayed zombie, and I don't think that's worth it for 4. I mean, Totally Lost was only good because of a mass. That's the only reason that was good.
Okay. 4 and 5 is worlds different.
Yeah, it is. It's huge difference.
Fair
Huge,
enough,
huge.
but that's a big difference because, like I said, mana cost is so important for instant speed interaction / tricks or whatever. But I think it's bigger for these two cards when compared to each other. Totally Lost and Revenge is the environment in which you're playing them. There is no massive amass decks coming your way here. No V2 Ghazi and that kind of stuff. So it's just not. Nah, it's not for me. It's D-.
It's a C for you, right, Scotty?
C.
So
Solid
this
C.
is the same as a 2/2, similar to the 2/2 that makes a zombie as well, 2/2 flying.
Yep, similar for me.
Interesting. I'm on a D+ actually. I've been like Total Loss has been a bit better. I could go down on it, but 1 mana and sure making a zombie to sack for something there. Yeah, there are some things that care about having something to sack. So all right, I'm on a D+. You talked me up on it.
Get up on it.
Secrets what?
Nothing.
Did you put it on a D+?
No, you've got D+, yeah.
Thanks. Secret of the Key. For blue, investigate. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, investigate twice instead. Flashback for 4 mana. Okay. So when you investigate, this is always going to be the case. There are only few cards that have that. I think 5 or something. I'm not sure. When you investigate, you create a token, an artifact token. Artifacts don't matter in this set. This token is not going to get destroyed, but never mind. with 2 mana sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. So tokens, so the clue tokens that you get from investigate are gonna draw you a card at one point. So for
5 mana.
For 3 mana, you're drawing 1 card. And then for 6 mana, I mean, it's all divided, so that makes it a little bit easier to cast. For 6 mana, 1 more, and for 2 mana,
No,
the third
why
card.
6?
What?
Oh shit!
Yeah, you're always
You're right.
investigate.
Oh my god, I thought it investigates twice both times. Oh
No.
my gosh.
No.
No.
So artifacts don't matter in this set. There's nothing that says X artifacts and whatever. They really don't matter. If they're good because they do something. So sure, this is card advantage, but it costs a ton. Interesting thing, if you have a lot of self-mill, this gets a little bit better. Like if you really have a lot of self-mill, like all these flashback cards can go up in like half a grade or something. But I think it's the grade this is gonna average at is probably gonna be like a D. So yeah, it's.
But if you self-mill this, it's an 8 mana draw 2.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's not worth it. I don't want that in my self-mill. I want something else.
But I mean, it's if you don't draw 2 with this for 8 mana, you're not really losing anything if you mill it.
Yeah, but if you draw it, it's a card
true.
in your deck.
It's true, but I think
That could have been something else.
I have it. I have it on a. There are better cards you can get with this. Oh, I have it on a D still. I still have it on a D. Probably gonna go down it, but you're gonna see. Like I think in heavy self-mill, this can be a role player.
All right, D- from me. What do you think, Scotty?
D-. Quite bad.
Okay.
Yes.
Just put it
Absolutely.
on a D- from me. I mean, there are other things you can get that have flashback.
And you change your stupid grade
Yeah,
to
it's
D-.
just like
It's a trash card.
Shipwreck Sifters for 1 and a blue. It's a 1/2, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card and discard a card. Whenever you discard a spirit card or a card with disturb, put a +1/+1 counter on Shipwreck Sifters. So on common, you have 2 disturb cards, and on common you have. Oh, I kind of forgot.
How many disturb cards do we have, Lola, if you're checking in blue and white at common?
At common, 2/2.
Hmm?
2 and 2, and you have 2 spirits that are not this.
Okay.
So it's 2/2 and 2 spirits that are not this card.
So 6 total targets.
Yes.
That's good.
Yep. Six total targets. And on uncommon there is a little bit more. There is 8. I'm counting the black card, and I'm counting the multicolored white Azorius card. So there is enough, I mean, but you gotta discard it. So if you have a ton of these, then this is pretty good, right? You draw a card and discard that card, and this is a 2/3. So this I think has a pretty good ceiling, but the floor is pretty shade. The floor is pretty low. Like 1/2 for 2 is horrible, even if it looted. If you
2 mana 2/3 that loots though is amazing.
2 mana 2/3 that loots is pretty crazy, yeah. That also gives you where you can also play the disturb card from your graveyard. Hey Xander? Can we I think we gotta put a ceiling on this. Do you guys agree on that?
I guess, because my ideal scenario to play this card is Azorius, obviously. And I think in Azorius this is like a C+.
But it can be any blue deck where you have enough cards with this.
But it's just harder, isn't it, in blue? What do you think, Scotty?
Yeah, I think this is kind of rough. I think all in all you're jumping through some hoops to make a 2/3, which is not phenomenal. I don't
But
love
you're
this card.
looting as well, right? So you're replacing the card.
Yeah, you're replacing the card. You're not just
In
discarding.
Azorius, right? We know that there's not in Azorius, in White specifically, the disturb cards are usually better for the disturb side, right? Some of them are nigh unplayable on the front side, like the 1-mana one. Like
It's
that
a
would be a bit fine.
disaster if you don't discard a disturb card, right?
It's pretty shit if you don't discard
Pretty
it.
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom of this is what, a D plus, a D.
A D, like I think the bottom of this is like a D minus. Like
Yeah,
if you miss, I'm
A
going
2-mana
for
1/2 that loots you.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's real bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go D plus here.
Okay, fair enough. But
can
more
we give
importantly,
it a-
I was gonna ask you if you want to put a ceiling of like a C
Yeah,
plus.
can
on
we
this.
like give it a D minus or a D, and then ceiling is, I mean, ceiling is a C plus.
But do we want to give it a ceiling? We have to.
Okay, ceiling on average is probably a C, right? On average, when this card is good, and it's gonna happen, I think, it's gonna be a C, I think. I want to do it. Do you guys want to do it?
Sure. Like if your deck is actually dense, then I'll be pretty happy to draw my Shipwreck Sifter. So I think that's a marker for a ceiling.
Where would you put it for a ceiling?
C is fine.
Okay, I'm willing to give it a D then. D and C.
D and C for me as well. Scotty, what's your initial grade?
Fine. D and C is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, seems fine. move on.
Startle. For 1 and a blue, target, it's an instant speed. Spell, target creature gets -2, -2 until end of turn. You draw a card and you create a 2/2 black zombie creature with Decade. Now, when this card came, I remember people were like, man, did you see that 2-mana trick in blue on steroids? Da, 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 da. It's better than everything we saw before. Sure, I mean, this is better than what we saw in AFR, but that card is pretty bad. And again, like 2/2 black zombie is nothing that special. -2, -0 is nothing that special. But everything combined, I'm fine with this. When everything is combined here. D plus or C minus? When you combine all of these effects. Card would be insane without Decade. Wait.
It would be pretty dumb without Decade, wouldn't it? It'd be a 2/2 that replaces itself and -2, -0s at instant speed your opponent.
It's a ridiculous
would be
magic card.
obscene. That would be obscene.
Imagine a 2/2 with flash that cantrips you and shrinks something.
Oh! You mean I thought you without the Decade token. Without Decade? Okay, man, this would be stupid without Decade. Every card. Oh, what the fuck?
No, actually, yeah, it's true for every card with Decade,
It's
but
a
specifically
flash?
this one because it's basically a 2-drop.
It's a flash 2/2 that can block out and over. That's a trick, and that replaces itself. Yeah.
Okay, we know that that's busted.
Yeah,
Let's
I
move
didn't
on.
think that. I didn't.
What do you give it, Lola?
But it's not even close to that. I don't know even if it can be a C minus or a D plus. I'm gonna give it a D plus. It's okay.
I'm gonna give it a D plus as well. I think it's near C minus though. If you got Decade synergies, it's obviously slightly better. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Be optimistic and give this a C minus. Allow me to waste everyone's time a little bit more by talking about how great the flavor is. So at pre-release, you walk into, you put this in your deck at pre-release, you cast this, right? When your opponent attacks, your opponent goes, oh my gosh, I'm going to get my creature eaten because they've just made a 2/2 flash. And then they look at it, it's like, oh, it can't block. So they get a little startled. But nothing more menacing than that. So I'm big on the flavor.
Nice.
Beautiful.
This is exactly a startle. Nice.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
C minus for the flavor, eh?
That was not a waste of time at all.
All right. Let's go.
I'm thinking about giving it a C minus as well, but nah, I'm
thinking
gonna
about
start
giving you a
this.
slap. That's
D
what I'm
plus,
thinking
like
about.
D plus is already fine. Okay, Storm Rider Spirit for 4 and a blue. It's okay. One thing about these Decade zombies. Like
Oh my
sometimes it's
God.
gonna happen. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have normal creatures, blah blah blah. Things are gonna be happening, and the opponent is losing life, and then they're like, Oh shit, man. These zombies are a problem now. I cannot attack anymore. So, if you amass enough of these zombies, like at one point, they are gonna be like in the late game. They are gonna be a problem. Like early game, mid game, who cares? And late game, there is gonna be a lot of situations when it's gonna be shit, man. Now, I'm afraid to attack, but because it could be lethal. And especially if the opponent is Dimir and can buff those zombies by a bit, or if you have the white +1, +1, +2, +1. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting how this is gonna play out. Okay, Storm Rider Spirit. You know, no, give it a C- for me. It is gonna make it does replace itself. Okay, sorry Mobius, just please give it a C- from me.
You are you are literally interrupting yourself.
Because it does replace itself, so that critical board state can come. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Storm Rider Spirit. I'm sorry, Mobius. 4 and a blue. It's a 3/3 flash flying. I don't know why this card is in this set. This set is pretty high power level. Why is this here? Why is this? A 3/3 flyer flash? Who cares? Oh, you can make knight, sure. This piece of shit.
What'd you give it?
D.
Yep, that's about right. Actually, I'm gonna give it a D as well. I was gonna go D-, but it's playable if you really need a 5-drop.
D.
I can see it going down to D- at one point. Sorry, Scotty, did you say something?
D for demoralized.
Yeah, very demoralized. Like this is card that should have stayed in the like sets that are long gone few years ago and never came back. No support for it as well. It's a spirit.
It's a spirit. I refer you to the comment below yours, Alex. Go ahead, Lola.
Unblinking Observer for 1 and a blue. It's a 2/1 that taps to add blue mana, but you can spend it only to pay a disturb cost or cast an instant or sorcery spell. Yeah, I like this. It's a 2/1, so it can trade. Can ramp you into playing your maybe high cost, the 6-drop, that's Disturb. Disturb is a little bit overcosted, so this kind of remedies that. The flavor text is amazing. Yeah. I don't know if it's a D+ or C-. I think C-. Maybe a D+. Like it goes down depending on how your deck looks. But I'm gonna start. There are flashback things and so on. I'm gonna start it as a C-. It can go up or down. Definitely.
C-, I agree with.
At least
that's
a C-.
correct for this.
Scotty, what's up?
Yeah, I think this is fine. Relatively unexcited. I got this as C- as well.
Okay. Covetous Castaway for 1 and we are on to uncommons, right? Yeah. Okay, time for uncommons. Covetous Castaway for 1 and a blue. It's Mobieus, you wanna read this?
If you want me to, Covetous Castaway, 1 colorless, 1 blue for a 1/3 human creature. When it dies, mill 3 cards. Boo. Disturb 3 colorless and 2 blue. You can cast it again. Hold on, give me a second. Upgrade my filter, and it transforms into a flying 3/4 spirit, Ghostly Castigator. I'll say that very quickly. When Ghostly Castigator enters the battlefield, you may shuffle up to 3 target cards from your graveyard into your library. Wow, that's good. If Ghostly Castigator would be put into a graveyard from blah blah blah, exile it, sure, because it's a transformed creature. I like this a lot. Oh my gosh, this is what you want in blue, huh? 2-drop is okay. 1/3 blocks decently, which is what you want it to do. And for 5 mana, you get a 3/4 flyer, which puts the 3 best cards of your deck, of your graveyard, back in your deck. Which I'm assuming you'll be milling a lot if you're playing Azorius or Dimir. So yeah, this is excellent. I'm gonna give this a C.
Did I reset the grade? I don't know, but yeah, this is lovely. I'm a bit higher than that. I'm on a C+. Great at blocking early, gets you some incidental value, then you trade off or just chump something and get a pretty good, stinking good flyer.
Yeah, and make your deck a little bit.
I'm okay with that.
Make your graveyard bit better. Like this mill 3 is sometimes gonna give you another one of these. It's sometimes gonna give you like a card plus you make your deck a little bit better when it enters the battlefield, the Castigator.
I think the biggest thing of this is the timing, right? When you play it as a 2-drop, you want to be milling yourself. And later on in the game, when you play a 5-mana card, you want to be putting cards back in your deck. So.
And this can be self-milled, and that's pretty damn solid. Like, this can be milled, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you want to be having, the more self-mill you have, you really want to be prioritizing these cards that can get milled, which is pretty good. There are almost no sec outlets in this set. They basically don't exist. There is some things that when you play them, they sacrifice your thing. Yeah, not many. Nothing continuously sec. So, I don't know if this is a B-. I'm gonna start it as a high C+. Oh.
Delver of Secrets, 1 mana human wizard, 1 blue mana human wizard with a 1/1 stat line. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. It's an instant or sorcery. If an instant or sorcery card is revealed this way, transform Delver of Secrets. And it transforms into an insectile aberration. It's a 3/2 flyer. Well, that's pretty good. That's very good. That's extremely good. I'm going to give this a C+. We've seen a bunch of cards. Some of them mediocre, some of them decent. This makes whatever it's called, investigate. What's it called? The 1 mana blue spell that looks at the top card of your deck and you can put it in your graveyard.
I mean, any scry or anything like that.
The observe. That's the one. Yeah, it's great with that. Yeah, I'm going to give this a C+ to start. I just think that in your blue deck, your Dimir/Azorius deck, this is going to be a great 1-drop.
Nice. So, Delver of Secrets, constructed staple.
Yep.
Famed in multiple formats.
Yep.
D+. This card stinks.
Yeah, it's not shit in limited. It is shit in limited. It's like
so
Okay. Scotty?
I think there's fresh blood here in this set. I think you're able to manipulate the top card of your library a little bit better than in the last set. So I'm giving it a D+ instead of a flat, solid, stinky D. If you have a high density of instants and sorceries, right, you are very low to flip this. And it's also relatively slow if you draw it later than turn 1, right? Turn 1, you slam dunk this, and you have to get pretty lucky to just blind flip something and get a good clock on. If you draw it later and cast it later, it's really slow. And also, even if you have like 14 instant sorceries in your deck, which is a high amount, that is not a super high likelihood to flip.
So Scotty,
I do believe you can manipulate the top card of your library a little bit better in this set than normal. So I'm going to give this a D+.
So Scotty, not like the maximum amount your deck out of all the 200 decks you're going to play in this set is going to have. What is the high density of instant and sorceries? What do you think, like a normal deck that has high density of instant and sorceries? What do you think is the number? What would you say?
A normal deck? 13. 12, 13.
12, 13?
Yep.
That's high for Strixhaven.
A good amount.
What the fuck? 12, 13 instants and sorceries. That's a normal deck. With
like a high density, like Izzet deck, maybe.
Yeah, with high density.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep. And that's still not a super high % chance to flip Delver.
So, I mean, it depends on the set. Like, in AFR, high density of instants and sorceries was 5. In Strixhaven, I mean, there you can have a high one, but that's still like 12? Really? 12 in this set?
Yeah, I'm still arguing it's pretty bad with 12.
Yeah, it's pretty bad with 12. But I mean, I think 10 is a huge number of instant sorceries, because you're gonna have enchantments and things like that. Like, this is not non-creatures. Like, you're gonna have
Definitely had 5 in all my AFR decks. Wow. Fine, you talked me down on it. I'll put it as C, but I still think this is decent in this set. In blue, black, and blue, white, let alone blue red. Obviously, it's good in blue red, but we'll see. Maybe I just haven't had the experience of playing with this.
I mean, sometimes you're gonna have like 13, 14, but I think that's gonna be extremely rare. Is it or not? But yeah, because of this manipulation with the top card, sure. Still just a D+. Like, not very good. Like, you're gonna wait a long time. It is I think people are a little bit blinded by how good this is in constructed, where it's gonna be extremely easy to get to.
This is the thing, though. I haven't even seen this in constructed, so I'm just
really?
like, yeah, this is based on my first time looking at this.
Oh, it was a common before, right? So it was a common, and doesn't really matter if it's common, but yeah. It's such a gambling. Like 1/1 is so shit, and when this becomes something like you didn't do anything with it before, so it's not like you waited a ton of time. Exactly, like there was a ponder and shit like that. You wait a long time, and then your 1/1 didn't do anything, and then it's
maybe I'm looking at this through rose-tinted glasses. We'll see. I'm happy to put this back down, but we'll see. I'll start it off on a C. I said C a lot there. Should we move on?
Yeah, probably gonna be a D in the end, but yeah.
Okay. Dissipate. 1 colorless, 2 blue for a counter instant spell. It says counter target spell. If that spell's countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in the graveyard. D.
D+. I think the exile clause is kind of relevant, and I actually don't think that the set is particularly fast. So I think you're going to have time to set this up, and exile is kind of nice. D+ for me.
Yeah, D+ is cool.
All right.
You don't care much about counters. Like, counter spells are never amazing.
Sorry, what? Sorry, hold on. My bad.
Counter spells are never amazing in limited. Almost never amazing in limited. Because it's very hard to keep that mana. Because you don't know, like in constructed, you're like, okay, I know what I need to disturb from this opponent's deck. And I need to do it. That's the way I'm gonna win. It's gonna be big. That's gonna be important thing before I hit X amount of mana or whatever. In limited, it's like, I'm not sure what my opponent is playing this archetype. Okay, he might have this. You're always speculating percentages on this, percentages on that. Think about a lot of things, but you don't have exactly the thing that you need to counter that they have like 4 copies of. They can search for or something like that. So it's a bit harder to hit. And if the opponent has instant speed card, tempo loss in limited, where you don't know the whole deck that your opponent has, like in constructed, is huge. It's huge if you're not. If you do not counter, if opponent plays a flash card on your turn, a lot of the times that means getting you very close, getting you to the loss of that game. Yeah, or if they play like 1 drop or 2 drop.
I feel like we always talk too long about counter spells.
Yeah, I think it's important. Okay.
Every time though?
That's it.
Alright, Fading Hope, 1 blue, instant. It says return target creature to its owner's hand. If the mana value was 3 or less, read token or something. Scry 1. Sure. D, probably.
I think it's a pretty push to unsummon, you know? This is like actually just better than unsummon. I'm kind of digging it. I give this a D+. Efficient.
I'm on a D. It's fine.
All right.
Well, I don't like bounces that much. That lose your card a lot of times.
Next card is Firmament Sage. 3 colorless, 1 blue for a 2/3 human wizard creature. It says if it's neither day or night, it becomes day as Firmament Sage enters the battlefield. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, draw a card. No, thank you. Just a D in it. D. D minus. D minus.
How does this card get dunked on so hard by the common? The common 3/2 at the same mana cost is just so much better than this. This is sad. I still don't think I don't think this card's unplayable, but D+ for me.
D plus? Plus? Oh my gosh.
Ah, man.
No, it doesn't trigger itself.
You need so much work to draw from this.
Because you go from nothing to day, Platypus.
You need so much work to
Too much. It's too much work for a 4 mana 2/3.
And it's a 2/3, yeah. It's like 4 mana 3/2 is so much better than a 4 mana 2/3 with this kind of effect. But still, you need to draw a card right away. Like 4 mana 2/3 that draws a card is much worse than a 4 mana 3/2 that draws a card because you want to trade it off. This gets shit on.
Itself to double spell? No, it doesn't. If you double spell, you're turning it to day, which it already made it day. That doesn't do anything.
I'm on a D.
D?
Yeah. What do you have with that, Mobieus?
D minus. I don't ever want to play this, and I'll play this. I don't even know what deck. Simic? No, Simic is about self mill as well. What deck can with blue can regularly, or not regularly, but what's it called? Consistently turn day to night.
I don't think you need to. I think this will just like hang out on the battlefield, being a pretty junk.
You want a 4-mana 2/3 to hang out on the battlefield? Get out of here. Get out of town. That's what I mean. Like, I don't want to play that ever. Nah. Yeah, just a D minus from me. Should we move on? Unless you guys got something much to say about this.
Nope, card's pretty bad.
Yep. All right. Mysterious Tome, 2 colorless, 1 blue for an artifact, which says 2 colorless and tap it to draw a card, and then transform it. Okay, so 2 colorless and tap, in addition to the 3 to play, is 5 total to draw 1 card. But then you transform it into a Chilling Chronicle, which is also an artifact, which says 1 colorless and tap it to tap target non-land permanent, and then you tap it back. So this is a funny card because, first of all, it doesn't untap when you transform it. So forget about doubling this or anything like that late game. But what it does do is the turn after you play this, for example, on curve or whatever, turn after you can pay 2 to draw a card, and then on your opponent's turn it's still tapped, so it's still Garbaggio. So it's pretty bad overall. What you really want to do is play on turn 5. When you play it, draw a card on your opponent's turn, and then it's an Icy Nip for the next opponent's turn, and then just cycle through turns like that. It's just, it seems nice, but it's a bit too gimmicky for me. Having said all that, it's not terrible, so I'm going to put it at a D+. In your slow decks, it's going to be serviceable.
I think the biggest knock against Mysterious Tome is the fact that the tap is not reliable, like an Icy Manipulator effect would be, right? Yeah. Like alternating tapping your opponent's threat that's beating you down the flyer every other turn is kind of rough. Like, I understand on the front side you're digging towards an answer, so it's not like you're completely cold to like whatever is killing you. So it like slightly slows down your death and also digs you to an answer. Overall, relatively slow, and if you can't pressure your opponent, this is going to provide pretty stinking annoying value over the course of the long game. So I'm a little bit more optimistic on this card. I got this at a D.
But I've got D+.
Oh, sorry, C.
Okay.
So yeah.
I was like, how can you be more optimistic?
Yeah,
I would say, though, I will say, if you imagine having a pair of these, because then you're doing it. 3 mana every turn. That's very good.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, it's inconsistent removal, but it does gain you cards sometimes. So it's like, hopefully some life gain. I mean, this can just chill, and wait for when you actually need to tap something so you gain that life, and then you draw some cards. Like you alternate, but the thing is you have to pay 2 mana to draw a card, and if you're getting beaten down, like you don't really want to pay 2 mana to draw a card so you can remove it next turn. It doesn't untap and it transforms, stays tapped. I'm gonna C minus. Because I think it's.
Oh, I thought I'd be the highest on this for some reason.
Not consistent, but not horrible. No, like, both are fine effects. But yeah, I wish it was like. Obviously, if this was like 1 mana tap, that would be beautiful.
Alright.
But it's not. And then.
Next card?
Yeah, next card.
Nebelgast Intruder. 2 colorless, 1 blue for a 2/1 spirit creature. Has flash and flying. Fair enough. And when it ETBs, up to 1 target creature your opponent controls gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Pretty good. I like this card. I'm going to give it a C. C? Let's see. 3 mana, 2/1 flyer. I'll give it a C. It's fine.
C seems fine to me. Understated body, but nice-ish effect. Fine.
C plus seems fine to me. This is great. Like 2 evasive damage for 3 is something that you expect, and you can attack better, block better. This will be 2 for 1. In a lot of situations, it is gonna be a 2 for 1. Maybe not the perfect 2 for 1 that you want, but still, it is gonna be a 2 for 1 in a lot of situations. I like this card quite a lot. It's a very, very solid C plus for me. I want a lot of these in my decks.
Fair enough. Next card is Ominous Roost, 2 colorless, 1 blue for an enchantment that says when it ETBs or whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, so read, disturb, flashback, etc. Create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying, and this creature can block only creatures with flying. Now that's a massive knock. If it didn't have that last bit, this would be a pretty good card. However, it's still a build around card, and it's not terrible. The fact that it makes a 1/1 flyer when you play it is okay. I want to give this a D plus, maybe even a D, but I would like to give this a build around grade. Possible.
I don't think it deserves a build around grade.
Okay.
What did you give it?
A D plus.
D plus?
Yeah. If we don't give it a build around grade, then it's. If we give it a build around grade, I'll put it at like a D.
I don't think it's even good in a perfect deck for it.
Are you saying it's not good in a perfect deck?
Yeah.
I think it's really good in a perfect deck.
But D plus D, like a D for ABCD.
Yeah.
The last
The bad
letter.
D.
The last letter. D for
Yeah.
Daryl.
Yeah.
So we're not giving it a ceiling grade?
I mean, if you
I would
decide
like
that you
to.
want to give it a ceiling grade, Scotty, then
If two of us decide, I think we can do it.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll give it like a ceiling C.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would even go up to C plus for some decks, but C seems like a good ceiling grade for this.
I mean,
By the way, this smells of tuning nerf to me. The not block clause. Like it smells like this card was actually just too
100%.
powerful.
100%.
way too
blocking.
nerfed. Way too nerfed.
But yeah, the blocking clause is pretty rough.
What's your regular grade? D or D plus?
I'll just go with a D then.
Yeah, I'll put it down to a D with the ceiling of C.
I hope this
Ceiling-
card's really good. Let's all be wrong, okay?
I hope, but there again, sacrifice not there. This card would be nice with it. 1/1. It's if you're not going to be casting that many cards, I mean, it can. Okay, I think ceiling is actually fine. Yeah, I'm also on a D and sure a C ceiling. I need to have a quick loo break.
Yeah, I'll go for a quick lube break.
Okay.
BRB chat. Talks among yourselves. Don't be naughty while we're away.
Okay. Be back in 2 minutes.
Just to cheer you up, chat. Why is it flickering? Just because it's on a phone.
No, I mean Lola. I mean Lola's screen.
Because he has like a flickering light in the background.
What? Why? Is it for theme?
I don't know. Maybe it's early Halloween stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Take your Bobby.
Have you considered, and I understand people have different takes about their kids on Twitch, have you considered instead of using a baby monitor, just live stream your baby 24/7 so that chat can call the, like, can alert you to any sort of danger, like baby monitors do?
Maybe.
Just have the entire world watch your baby for you. That sounds like terrible parenting. Don't do that. But
I mean, that's basically what kids do these days anyway, don't they? As soon as they get hold of a tablet. Baby.
wait, that's true. You can't even show your baby. It's against terms of service, like your real life baby, right?
Okay, what do you mean?
No. I mean, I think a video is fine, right? But like the actual baby, you can't show like a young kid on Twitch, or you can't have them on stream. Otherwise, it like violates terms of service.
But I can show my tits.
I don't think you could do that either.
Are you sure? I feel like I can.
Oh wait, you actually
if
you
I'm
can.
popular enough.
I'm sorry, you can.
Enough, I'm fairly certain I can get away with it.
No, I'm pretty sure you could get away with it right now.
Soon he will smile. Nope, he's just checking. I'm still holding him. Oh, he's being a little bit sad in his dream. Ow! My hand is getting tired. I'm very unfit, chat.
That's true. Paul did stream with the baby on the lap. What's that story I heard about someone getting banned for their... Oh, because they weren't there. They weren't supervised.
Why the heck
I remember.
would you leave your baby unsupervised?
That's true, because the streamer left and then the baby popped on the stream alone. And then I think the streamer got banned or something.
Oh, this is the best one. Watch.
But as long as you're there, I think it's fine. Just stream you sleeping with the baby. It's fine.
You kush smile.
I can't see. The screen is too small. I have to blow up the screen.
Oh, hold on. He's always high. Because all these are after he's had milk. So he's milk drunk. And it's the morning as well, so he's very smiley.
That's great. Let's cancel the set review.
It makes me feel so much. You don't know how many good endorphins I release when I see my baby smile.
That's the most wholesome thing. Thank you for balancing out Lola's terrible, terrible unwholesomeness.
Exactly.
We need a little bit of a palate cleanser from Lola's last break rant.
Baby's a good palate cleanser. Next card is Overwhelmed Archivist. 2 colorless, 1 blue for a 3/2 human wizard creature token. I was going to say token, it's just a creature. When it ETBs, draw a card, then discard a card. And the other side of it is Disturb for 4. It's a 2/1 flyer, and it also loots. I mean, that's okay. It can be a playmaker in blue-green. Yeah, in blue-green, blue-white, blue-black. I think they all kind of want to put certain cards in the graveyard. And a 3-mana 3/2 is like nothing to write home about, but it's not terrible, right? It's like you can have 3-mana 3/2s in your deck. And the fact that you can cast it for 4 mana for another loot late game, or even mid game to get rid of a land or something useless to maybe draw something better and have a evasive 2-power creature is nice.
I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it does have to attack on the backside to loot.
Oh, sorry. I thought you ETBs. When it attacks, draw a card, then discard a card.
Or you can do it multiple
okay,
times.
so it's repeatable.
Yeah.
But it has to wait a turn. Okay,
It's worse
that's
than
fair.
Yeah.
It does seem better overall. Okay. I'll give it a C though.
I think C is perfectly fine. It's kind of nice. I actually kind of forgot about the existence of this card when talking about the stupid 2-drop spirit.
Yeah,
loot.
yeah.
I actually didn't think that there was a repeatable source of just like draw, discard, draw, discard.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm also on a C for this. Lola said it was gonna be like 2 minutes. Lola's been gone for like an hour, so.
Well, all you need to know about the back is it's 4 cost, which is already on the front, and 2/1, which is already on the front. And you have to take my word for the fact that it has flying and that it loots on attack.
You have to take my word for it. Did I tell you the story about when I went to F&M like a long time ago in paper, like in high school, or like, I don't know what you call it, like secondary school?
Secondary
Whatever.
school, yeah.
Yeah, secondary school. My friend brought a bunch of Baneslayer angels, but they were in Japanese, and they had to play someone who was actually quite young as a kid, and they had to try to explain what the card did. There were like no judges because it was a super casual event and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
That's
like,
hilarious.
and the kid just was playing like a casual starter deck. So my friend had to explain like, yeah, trust me, it has 5/5 first strike lifelink.
And
You
the
just have
kid
to
was
trust
like,
me
no,
on
it
this.
doesn't. That's crazy.
It's like there's no way a card would be printed that much. It's like, no, you got to trust me. It's a pretty good card.
It's very good.
I felt so bad because the kid was like, no, that's not what the card does.
Beautiful. Ooh, the next card is really good. Lola died again?
This is a really long 2 minutes. Lola, this is a really long 2
Spirit
minutes.
is calling to us.
I'm sorry.
What are you saying, Lola Spirit?
It was I thought it was a number 1, but it turned into more.
No.
Okay, well, you didn't do... Like, the fact that you didn't finish that sentence does not help. Like, we already know what you meant.
More.
All right.
So-
What do you think about this card?
Unexpected. So, did you talk about both sides?
Yes. Can you flip it?
Yes. Okay, so, alright. You already talked about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
Alright, 3/2 that loots is okay. And it can disturb to become a 2/1 flyer. That loots on attack. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, I like this card quite a bit. It is a 2-for-1. 3 mana, 3/2 is a pretty fine stat line. I think this is definitely a B-.
Dang, okay.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
What about you? I'm guessing you guys gave it like a C+ at least?
No, we both gave it a C.
C? I'm gonna B-. I like this card a lot.
I think this card is quite good. I could go to C+. I could go to C+. The value is kind of nice. The front side is fine. The back side is pretty good. I'll go C+.
Yeah, and looting for free, like the 3/2 is just gonna. It's easy to trade it, and then
Yeah.
like it looted already. That's never bad, especially in this set where you can loot away disturb and flashback cards. So and then loot whenever you want to, like just from attack from an evasive threat. Of course, if they have something that can block it, then it doesn't loot, but still gets you a 2/1. Not bad.
What do you mean if they have something to block it? It doesn't loot, or you mean you don't attack?
Yeah, I mean you can just
Okay,
loot
okay,
and yeah, you're probably not gonna attack. Okay.
So are we the wrong ones, Scotty? Should this be a C+? Oh, you've already told us. Yeah, I'm fine.
So.
We can go
I
up
think
to
so.
C+. But
C+
I think a B is kind of high for this card.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I really like it.
I mean, 2-for-1s are always great.
Yeah, I think this is more than a 2-for-1 in a lot of cases.
Because you loot.
You already loot, and then you can loot few times. I think it's you don't even have to pay anything for those loots.
Yeah, fair enough. Somebody was at the door. It was a pizza delivery. Which is funny because I haven't ordered pizza. So
Did you take it anyway?
regretfully, I had to turn it away. Because
Oh,
I'm a nice person.
Oh.
And I have to set a good example for Baby Mob. What if you found out and then he started serial ordering pizzas? From
You're
the wrong
alone at
address?
home now.
Oh, well, no. Mushi's here.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Next card.
Next card.
Phantom Carriage. 4 colorless, 2 blue for a 4/4 spirit with flying. When it ETBs, you may search your library card for a card with flashback or disturb, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. That's pretty dang good. I like this card a lot. It gets you exactly what you want, that you want to cast from your graveyard. I'm going to give this a C+, because it's 6 mana.
Yeah, the ability is quite powerful. The stat line and the cost is slightly worse than I want. Being a 4/4 for 6 mana is like not exactly where I want to be, but the ability is quite powerful. I'll go C+.
Yeah, again, like 6 mana 4/4, not the best stat line, but yeah, it is pretty good. Like you get exactly what you want, what you need. Like in some decks, this goes down on value, but yeah, it is gonna get you something extra. Like we had a 6 mana 4/4 in M19, much weaker set in terms of common uncommon power level. That's cried for 2, and that was really good there. This is, I'm also on a C+, but I could go down. I just don't think there are a lot of, like in White we didn't even see a 6-drop, right? We saw 2 mana.
Yes, we saw the Angel. Was that 5? 5 mana 3/3 flyer?
You mean the rare?
Was that rare? Never mind then.
You mean the one that gets back things?
Yeah.
Did we see a 6-drop in White?
Feel like we didn't.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think we did. And
Yeah.
Compared to the previous set, it seems to me like this set, in all colors combined, has a lot lower number of 5-drops and 6-drops. Like the AFR had much higher number than any set that I ever saw, unless I'm mistaken with some counting. But yeah, more than any set that I ever saw, and that made all of them a little bit weaker, because you're so sure you're gonna get enough. But yeah, I'm on a C+. Like in a set like AFR, this would be much lower, even if it had flashback and disturb. Just because of that, doesn't matter how the power level of the card. But yeah, C+, and I mean,
I don't know if it would be that much lower. This is really good. Like you can just take Covetous Castaway or something, and that's a 6 mana play as well. Like that's a really good loop to have. You play Phantom Carriage, or play Pattern to have. Put Covetous Castaway if you have one in your deck still. Or something else with Disturb, I guess, but that's a really good target, and it's only uncommon as well.
I think you're supposed to cast off on your graveyard after turn 4. 6. If you have them, sure. Okay, pretty good. But yeah, it is still a 6-drop. You cannot have too many. That's why it's not a B or something. You're not just gonna take this super highly. At one point, if your deck has enough 5-drops and 6-drops, you're gonna be like, no, I don't need another one. I don't want to replace one of them. I want other cards that fit other holes in my deck. Mobieus, you can go, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Scab Wrangler. 1 colorless, 1 blue for a 2/1 human wizard creature. And it says tap 3 untapped zombie tokens you control and tap target creature. That's pretty good. On a 2. Pretty good. It lets your decay tokens do stuff. I think that's a C- for me, though.
All right, this card is hot.
Yes.
This card is the card. No mana. No mana. End of turn. Board is relatively gummed up or stalled, etc. You just go ahead and tap something down end of turn, make your attacks a little bit better, stop your opponent's best attackers. Once you accumulate 3 decayed zombies, then it's just sort of just free tapping all around, which is absolutely lovely. The no mana cost is the big deal here. I love this. B-.
B.
B-.
I want a B- as well.
Wow.
This is the prime pay. This is the prime payoff for zombies.
Fine. I'll go up to a C, but no higher than that. You guys are a bit.
Like no cost is huge. This is the one that can trade as well. So it's not like that's the floor, you trade it. And later on in the game, like free tap is pretty big. It's pretty huge. Tapping 3, this thing and 2 more things. Tap 9 creatures, tap with 9 creatures to tap 3. Now, if I have 2 of these, I think all of my zombie things that create zombies are getting like full grade upgrade or something like that. If I have 2 of
fair
these
enough.
and maybe something else.
Yeah, when I said zombies, I was mostly joking. It's untapped creatures you control. So, but a lot of the time you're aiming to make decayed zombies and use them.
Yeah, these
Alright.
beautiful with zombies.
So we move on, or you got more to say about this?
Nothing more. I mean, if you make 2 zombies, so this is like your grade is C, right, Mobius?
Yeah.
So if you have 2 zombies and this is similar to a free IC manipulator that doesn't cost any mana.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's tap target creature, not permanent. But yeah, I agree. It's good. It's good. I was obviously too low on my first grade. It's at least to see in your dedicated zombie decay deck, and which I'm assuming is Demir, because this is blue, and then you need black for more zombies.
Black, yep.
If you just have 2 decay zombies, this is amazing.
Yeah, but you need to make 2.
I think the card also tends itself well to the zombie decay game plan, which is to like tap large things and then alpha strike. You know, your opponent has to watch out. Very tricky.
Yeah. Yep. All right, next card is Vivisection. 3 colorless, 1 blue for a sorcery. I mean, obviously I'll go up on Scarab Wrangler if I play it and it's amazingly broken. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Well, that's great. Draw 3 cards. That's great. Well, it's a sorcery though, which is not great. Didn't we already have cards that draw 3 for 4 without any downsides?
I mean, that's great. That's well above rate. Like, they don't print Harmonize anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay, fair enough. I mean, this card is fine. I mean, the thing you'll be sacrificing is a zombie here. This might as well say sacrifice a zombie token.
But it can be anything
But
else.
it's 4
Something
mana, it's a sorcery. Sorry?
It can be anything else, like a disturbed creature that you don't no longer need.
Yeah, obviously, but ideally you want to cash in your 2/2 that can't block. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, D+. You don't want too many of these. Maybe C- in the right deck.
I think cashing in Decayed Zombie for draw is not super unreasonable. I think that's just a normal case for blue. I don't even think that's like synergy. I think that's just something you'll be able to get to if you're playing the color blue. C- for me.
I'm gonna see. Would be much better as an instant, but I wanna see. Cashing in a zombie for 3 cards is pretty good. I could go down to C- for this one, because I think you're gonna have a lot of things to use mana on, but I'm gonna start it as a C. Okay, we're on to the rares.
Are we doing rares and mythics together?
You mean now?
Yeah, rares together.
Yeah?
Yeah, rares and mythics together.
Okay,
I'll read. Okay, we're doing the rares and mythics, and then we're taking off the day. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll finish the other 3 colors tomorrow.
Yes.
Sure. Let's do Curse of Surveillance. 4 blue, 5 mana total for enchantment aura curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, any number of target players other than that player each draw cards equal to the number of curses attached to that player. All right, so basically 5 mana enchantment that you draw 1 every turn. Which is it's okay. that's very, very much okay. Quite slow. I would love to say that this is infinite value, but it's molasses. It's molasses these days. I think this used to cut it as a pretty reasonable Magic card, but no longer really. I'm gonna put this also at a C-.
C-.
I mean, drawing 2 cards per turn is pretty damn good.
What?
At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, any number of target players other than that player each draw cards equal to the number of curses attached to that player.
It's 1, right? Draw 1 card.
Yeah, but 2 cards per turn. Like you.
Yeah, 1 on their turn, 1 on your turn.
Yeah, 1 on your turn, 1 on your turn.
At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. 1 on their turn, 1 on your turn. Your regular draw is what he's counting.
Oh, you're counting the regular. Okay, sure.
Yeah. That's
It's
what I meant.
but it is 5 mana draw 1 card a turn in
Yes.
addition to your draw step.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's making it sound better by saying 2, but it's not.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lola.
I think it's like it's nice that you're drawing a card. Wait, but any number of target players. That number has to be a number.
What?
Like,
It's for commander.
it's so weird. Like, can any number be 0? 0
No.
is a number.
You could technically not draw off of this, yes. If you want to.
Aha, okay. No, you enchant this to yourself. Okay, I get it. Target players are... Wait, no, other than that player. No, you gotta enchant this to the opponent.
Yes.
And what if it's 0?
Then you don't
0.
draw.
Why are you saying 0? I'm losing my mind. Why are you saying 0?
Okay.
What's so confusing here?
I don't understand. So wait. Okay, at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, any number of target players other than that player... Aha, okay, so you choose that. Okay, I thought you were giving them that option. Aha, you choose
Why
that.
the fuck would you give them that option with a 5 mana
Yeah,
card?
it is. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, you're the one that controls the curse. You're the one that's using that. Okay. So 2 cards per turn, 5 mana. Yeah, before this would be absolutely busted, but it's not bad still here. And you can say it's pretty good that it's any number, because you're gonna be self-milling, right? There are a lot of decks that are gonna have self-mill, enough of that. So at one point you can say, okay, I can stop with this. I think this is very powerful. And I think it's nice that at the beginning of Enchanted Player's upkeep, with your flash and instant speed cards as well, it's a little bit better than on your upkeep.
No, it isn't.
An upgraded Eye of Vecna loses you life, which is huge. And you gotta pay 2 mana every time you draw a card. I think this is better and you're giving it credit for, Scotty.
This is the stupid Honden of infinite wins. Like, but a little better.
Before you criticize Scotty, Lola, I'm gonna give this a D+.
What do you give it, Scotty?
A C minus.
So basically, you can draw 2 cards per turn. 1 card on your turn, 1 card on your opponent's turn. That's what the card says.
Stop saying you're gonna draw a card on your turn. We know that. That's a basic mechanic. You're making it sound as if we're drawing 2 cards. We're not.
Ah, that's true.
I've played people from my stream.
I'm giving this
a lot of Hundens.
I'm giving this a D.
So, okay, in Ixalan, when we had like 4 mana, and it had to be City's Blessing for you to draw 2 cards per turn, was sometimes pretty damn good.
What?
In Ixalan, the same card, 4 mana, but it had to be... the City's Blessing needed to be activated.
Mina's Ascension or something.
Huh?
That was way better. It's 4 mana compared to 5.
Yeah, but it needed to be City's Blessing. You need to activate that, right?
Yep.
I mean, that was fairly easy in that set.
Yeah, but sometimes a few turns passed and you didn't draw a card still.
I mean, that still worked, even if you didn't have City's Blessing. It just meant that your opponent also drew, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that was just strictly better than this.
I mean, like, for reference, right? You love to compare draw cards to divination, right? This is 2 turns until it becomes divination for 5 mana.
And then you still continue drawing cards.
Yeah. You hate cards like this. I'm so confused.
But you still continue drawing cards for free. It's
Lola, what's your grade? Stop trying to... Stop
figuring
trying
it
to
out,
lock his
like...
grade, Scotty. I want him to give this a high grade and then find out how shite this is.
So you...
Go on.
It immediately... replace... It kinda... Almost immediately replaced itself. Not really immediately, I guess.
What?
It replaced itself...
Sorry, I'm interrupting. Continue.
You end the turn and replace it itself. It replaces itself. If you have instant speed cards, flash cards, it gets better because you can use them sooner, a little bit better. Ah,
Thought this would be the card that would have you scratching your head, Lola, honestly.
because it's free, it doesn't cost anything. Like if you're
It
gonna,
costs 5.
yeah, but later on it doesn't cost anything. You're not playing your card draw very soon in the game. Like you're playing your card draw usually as late as you can. Like you're not gonna be drawing 3 cards for 5. Let's say for 5 mana you usually draw 3 cards. You're not gonna be doing that until it's late in the game, or you have literally nothing else to do. I think it's in a C.
You're right.
I'm gonna give it a C.
I will mana.
I'm
will
gonna
mana
give it a
read
C.
this card, so I
I'm
draw
gonna
it
give
when
it
I
a
have
C.
5 mana.
I'm gonna give it a C.
You're right.
Okay.
You gave it a C?
It's not useless. It's fine. This can win you the game.
You give it a C, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It can win you the game.
Scotty?
Grafted Identity, 2 blue, enchantment aura. As additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature. Enchant creature, you control enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Blammo. As I was saying before with Vivisection, I think you just are just a thing that you can do in blue. Just have a zombie lying around. I don't think it's a super steep cost. Freaking great. Cheap. Answers like pretty much anything. Sure, if they kill Grafted Identity, then they get the creature back, whatever. But extremely strong, huge swing. B+.
Yeah, extremely powerful, extremely high B+.
Yep, B+. Good card.
With
+1 to you,
zombies and
-1 to
without
your opponent.
zombies.
Lier, Disciple of the Drowned, 3 blue, legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 3/4. Spells can't be countered. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to the mana cost. That's pretty stinking huge. That's pretty stinking powerful. The 3/4 stat line, not incredible, but the value you get off of this, especially if you pair it with black or red in terms of like pretty efficient, cheap removal, super solid. If you untap with this, I can imagine you're just going to start crushing the game pretty stinking quickly. I'm going to put this at a B+ as well. I'm gonna put this at a B+.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like 5 mana 3/4 pretty weak, but yeah, the fact like all of them have B+. Can we put it on a ceiling? Like if you have a lot of removal spells, can we put this on an A-?
Really?
You just put it an A- then.
For a Mythic?
A ceiling A-. Can you give it a ceiling A-?
I don't agree with that, but...
I vote an A.
You want
I
a ceiling
also
A?
vote A.
Okay, A, sold. Like if you have
What?
a ton
No,
of removal
we're not
spells-
giving it a ceiling.
Huh?
It's just a B+. If you get this, you know what you're doing. It doesn't need a ceiling.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get those cards. You're not gonna build your whole deck around this.
But you're gonna build your deck, right?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, but if you have if your deck has a ton of removal spells and some graveyard, like if you can get this back to the battlefield, it definitely goes into an A range. Like if you can get it back, because then you can get another card back, and then you can use removal again.
What's your initial grade?
B+.
Yeah, B+ for me as well. The only thing I want to mention is cards that already have flashback. This overwrites that, right? So you can cost them for the
Makes them better.
cheaper flashback cost,
Yeah, it makes them better basically.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you give it an A, Mobieus, on ceiling?
No, I gave it a B+ as well. Me and Scotty don't agree with giving this a ceiling.
No, Scotty wants to give it an A as a ceiling.
I said nothing like that.
Oh, didn't you say that?
No, you're reading chat and putting the word in my mouth.
No. I heard you say. I didn't even read the chat.
He did not.
I heard you say that it has an A ceiling, and then I was like, yeah, sure, I'm going.
Oh, I was mostly giving up because I don't care.
Wait, you guys don't think this has a bomb ceiling?
No.
Then just put it as a bomb. You build your deck normally. You have a normal deck, and this functions well.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have Graveyard Recursion plus enough removal, this is not a bomb for you?
Then put it at an A. Be bold. Just put it at a straight up A.
What the fuck are you even talking about, now, Scotty?
He's
Don't put
saying
a
instead
ceiling,
of a ceiling,
great
give it
up-
an A if you think it's a bomb.
Are you even listening to what I'm saying? Did I
Yes,
say
I
this
am.
card is a bomb? What I said
But
is,
you're asking Scotty if he doesn't think it's a bomb.
in the right deck, I think it's a bomb.
Interdasting.
I said if you have the right tools in the right colors, this becomes a bomb.
I think that's
Sure.
just a normal deck.
That's a normal deck.
I agree with that.
Wait, a normal
agree.
deck has graveyard recursion plus removal. And a
Yep.
lot of removal.
Yeah, that doesn't sound super abnormal to me.
But it's gotta be instant and sorcery based removal.
Sure. Yeah, it's instant sorcery based removal, yeah.
How else are you removing your opponent's creatures with?
And
What?
graveyard
It's
recursion.
fine.
Normal deck is like any deck has graveyard recursion.
Well, if you're playing blue-black,
That's any deck. Or just blue-black.
well, if you're playing this, it has to have blue in it for one, and black is the recursion color, so it's going to be blue-black, no?
No, graveyard recursion is not the name of the game with this set. It's like blue doesn't. It's so you don't want to give it a ceiling, guys. Why are you fucking with me?
We're not. We
This
just
is
said
so
no,
useless.
and
That is
you
so
thought
good.
we said yes. That's the only thing that's happened here is you thought we agreed with you and we disagreed. That's
No,
all.
I didn't think you agreed with me. I thought that Scotty wanted to give it a ceiling. Who cares about that? But I'm not even referencing that. Why I'm saying like, why are you telling me then give it a bomb rating? If I'm saying like in the right situation, in the right deck, it is a bomb. It's important. It's very important to have the graveyard recursion because it's just gonna make that card even better because it's gonna make it get even more things from the graveyard. Like,
Ooh, chat's backing up Lola. Vito says Scotty did say he'd give it a ceiling of 8. Wow.
you did say
I was mostly
Scotty.
just saying, when I said like give it a ceiling of A, I was mostly saying like, yeah, sure, go for it. Like, I don't care.
So you're like 50-50 if that's okay.
I mean,
No,
like if
he
I'm
doesn't care.
deciding
He wants to
go,
finish.
So what?
if I'm the tiebreaker between the two, I'm just gonna say
You're
no.
not.
No ceiling.
Yeah, damn it. Okay. Blah. Then okay, high B plus. This card is crazy powerful. But in some decks it's not gonna be crazy powerful. Like if your spells already have flashback and shit, if you don't have the removal that has enough removal, which some decks are not gonna have, sorcery and instant speed based removal, like what? You're playing a weak 5-drop to discount your flashback cards. That seems like not that good. So B plus.
We're talking about Malevolent Hermit, 1 blue, 2 mana for a creature human wizard, 2/1. Blue, sacrifice Malevolent Hermit, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 3. Disturb for 2 blue. The backside is Benevolent Geist. For a 2/2 flying, non-creature spells you control can't be countered. If Benevolent Geist would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Solid, pretty stinking efficient. Not too bad. Face-up counterspell just means that they sort of have attacks and have to be careful about where they shoot off their instants. Or sorry, where they shoot off their non-creature spells. Relatively disruptive. I don't mind this at all. I think this is a C+.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I think it's even better. I mean, 3 mana, 2/2 flyer is. I think this is much better than C+. I think this is a B. Much better than C+. It's like 2 mana, 2/1 is something that you're very happy with. Trading this off is great. Countering target non-creature spell for 3 is a great effect to have on a card that already trades. And 3 mana, 2/2 flying is something that you expect. Like usually we don't have Disturb that gives you 3 mana, 2/2 flyers with some additional effect. Why not? So yeah,
On the uncommon, it costs more. Like it'd be like 4 or 5 mana.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have this effect. It would be 4 mana or 5 mana or whatever. And yeah, I like this a lot.
Yep. You're on a B?
I'll go B-.
I mean, not ever countering with this is completely fine. That means that they are not going to be playing their cards.
So just B from you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it a B- as well.
I'll join you.
Scotty, you went up to B-, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go B-.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty powerful card. Very efficient.
Memory Deluge, 2 blue instant. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. Put 2 of them in your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Flashback 5 blue. What the heck? This is incredibly strong. It doesn't actively affect the board, but the card selection you get from this is powerful. A solid draw spell on the front half, and also just value on the backside. That's some pretty strong inevitability in your deck, packed into one magic card. Pretty stinking good. I'm going to put this at a B.
Yeah. Yeah, man, like, look at the top 4 cards, get 2, pretty good. And then later on, even more cards. I don't think this is a B, though. It doesn't affect the board in any way. I'm gonna give it a B minus. Like, this is a pretty powerful card draw spell, and you can mill it and then play it later, so that's pretty damn good.
Yep. Yeah, just worth noting, obviously, when you flash it back, you look at the top 7, not 4. So it's pretty good. Even better selection for 2-3 more men. Give it a B. Next.
Let's talk about Patrician Geist. 2 blue for a creature human knight. It's a 2/2, flying. Other spirits you control get +1/+1. Spells you cast from your graveyard now cost 1 less to cast. Now cost 1 less to cast. Notably speaking, every single disturb card on its backside is a spirit. There's also just a couple spirits, period. So the +1/+1, relatively relevant. I think this card is quite good. I'm put this at a B minus.
Relatively relevant. Nice.
Yeah, B minus. Like it a lot.
Yep, B minus also. Strong
Everything
card.
we disturb is a spirit. Everything that comes... Okay, some cards we disturb are spirits from the front side, I think, but everything that comes back we disturb is also a spirit.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. Actually, probably nothing is a spirit on the front side. Yeah. Rup.
Poppet Stitcher, 2 blue, 3 mana for a creature human wizard. It's a 2/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more creature tokens, you may transform Poppet Stitcher. On the backside is the Poppet Factory, which creature tokens lose all abilities, have base power toughness 3/3. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform Poppet Stitcher. So you, like, when you run out of tokens, you can pop it back to Poppet Stitcher. Yeah, heck yeah. This card is pretty stinking good. You play instants and sorceries afterwards, accumulate your army, then flip it, and they all become relatively large brawlers. That is a powerful card in a package that is just a reasonable, yet slightly overcosted, I guess, creature on its own. So ceiling is relatively, or floor is relatively high, and the ceiling is pretty stinking high as well. Love it a lot. They also, like, on, like, niche, I don't think this is actually going to happen, like, too much. It turns all your humans, it pumps all your humans up. You know, your human tokens.
Yeah, your tokens, yeah.
Which is fine. I think this card is really good. I'm going to put this at a... I would put this at a B+. I think you're going to get naturally decayed zombies on their own on top of the instant sorceries that you cast enough, where this is going to be a huge threat.
Yeah, and then 3/3s, like, a lot of 3/3s. This is pretty crazy, I agree. And you can transform it back, right? You save your instant sorceries, and you can just transform it back on the upkeep. Next turn if you want to, whatever. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. B+. B+. Yep, amazing.
I mean, I think this is close to an A minus. It's just, it takes time. That's the main problem with it. It takes time.
It is
In the
very
meantime,
close.
it's not
It is very
super
close
hard to remove.
I
So
agree.
yeah, high B+, and yeah, obviously it needs instant and sorceries. You can't do anything with an empty hand. If you top deck this, it just doesn't do anything. But it's extremely powerful in the right scenario, which is most times you play this.
Yeah, I agree. This is gonna be crazy. It needs some
Maybe-
support, so I don't think we
There's-
just put it on. I don't like putting it, as a bomb, because it does need some support.
We can, like, briefly talk about it, right? Like, I don't think you have to kill this immediately. You play this, you untap with it, you cast an instant or sorcery, you turn 5, cast another instant sorcery, you get 2 decayed zombies after, like, removing a thing and maybe drawing some cards, whatever. Then you kill it on, like, turn 6, so that's not even, like, a huge amount of... I mean, that's a pretty decent amount of time. Then you have 2 decayed zombies, and the game is far from over.
Or
then it's still good.
Or opponent has the 3/1 with flash, right? And you kill this as all of those zombies are attacking.
That's sad. That would be really good. That would be really good.
But it's still a 1-for-1, right? A 1-for-1, and sure they die.
Yeah, and you're attacking for a bunch at that time.
Who knows? Maybe for nothing if they can block that.
Yeah, sure.
But
It's
yeah,
fine.
it's thinking powerful. And I don't think it's a bomb level. I don't think it really is. In some decks it is gonna be it's definitely gonna be very very bomby. But still like a high.
Scotty said he wants to give it a ceiling of an A.
Oh my gosh. Sludge Monster, 3 blue for a creature horror 5/5. When Sludge Monster enters the battlefield or attacks, put a slime counter on up to one other target creature. Non-horror creatures with the slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 2/2. Whew! This is surprising for a blue card. It's a 5-mana 5/5 in blue, which is pretty rare, honestly.
Yeah.
Can shrink down your opponent's creatures. The thing is, if this dies, they revert back because the slime counters don't do anything without Sludge Monster on the field, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm reading that as.
Yeah, you're correct.
Are you sure?
Which is fine. You can use this on your creatures to make them do 2. Most of the time, I'm assuming you're going to be shrinking your opponent's creatures. Overall, nice stuff. Into the battlefield on top of attacking is pretty nice as well. I'm going to put this at a B+.
Cool thing about this is like you recur it, right? And they go back to being little slimy.
Yeah.
I'm on a B+. I love this card.
Yeah, B+, very strong.
Spectral Adversary, 1 blue, creature spirit. It's a 2/1 with flash and flying. When Spectral Adversary enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 blue any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on Spectral Adversary. Then up to that many target artifacts, creatures, or enchantments phase out. So this is not only just your stuff, this can be your opponent's stuff too. Yes. So end of turn, you can sort of flash this in for 4 or 6 mana, phase out a couple blockers that would be there, and make a pretty big smork. Overall, this is pretty stinking good, even on 2 mana. Like having a pretty early aggressive clock is kind of nice. On 4 mana, being just like a straight up 3/2 and a pretty reasonable clock. Nice keyword. Just flying is in general just quite good. I think this card is super solid. I am also going to put this at a B+.
So yeah, like 2/1 for 2 flying, great. 3/2 for, let's just see the stats. Like 3/2 for 4, normal. 4/3 for 6. Great, because it's an option, right? It's an option. But then, like, phasing out, I think this warrants a little bit more talk about phasing out your opponent's creatures. That is extremely powerful, because those creatures are not going to exist until their next turn.
Yep.
So, if you pay, like, say you pay 6 for this, opponent attacks or whatever, you pay 6 for this, you've got a big flyer. Now, this is an option, right? You can just put it on 2 or for 4, and those creatures are not going to be able to block your creatures. If you do it before combat, they're not going to be able to attack or block your creatures. And, of course, it can save your creatures. So, plus, maybe remove something from them. With all these adversaries, when you get to 8 mana later on, it becomes even better. Like this. A super late game, this is still very relevant and can just win you the game by removing the attackers and blockers from the opponent. So gaining them some life and dealing the damage to the opponent. Extremely powerful. I'm on a B though. I don't see this as a B+. Yeah, great because of its flexibility, but I don't think anything is too busted. But it's just B. B is an incredibly powerful card. I just don't see this as being a strict 2-for-1 that often. So yeah, a solid B.
I'm on B+. I think it's I'm on the Scotty train. I think it's flexible and powerful enough to warrant a B+. Like literally all the situations you described, it's always good. This card is never bad.
Yeah.
You draw it early, it's great. You draw it early, it's good. You draw it mid game, also good. Late game, it's great because you can just go in for lethal.
The thing is, like, if you're not,
I think this is the this is the only one in the cycle of these adversaries that isn't a bomb. That's the only, I think.
I mean,
I think the other ones are all bombs.
it has exactly. It has so many uses. Like for example, you attack, and the opponent double blocks. You phase out one of their blockers. All of a sudden, you're winning that fight, and you're killing that one creature. Like it's so flexible, but not a bomb. Yeah, still a B for me.
Fair enough. Ooh, give you a B+. All right, next card.
Suspicious Stowaway. 1 blue, 2 mana total for a creature, human rogue, werewolf. Has 1/1, and it can't be blocked. Whenever Suspicious Stowaway deals combat damage to player, draw a card, then discard a card. Daybound, which means it has a backside of Seafaring Werewolf. It's a 2/1. Seafaring Werewolf can't be blocked. When Seafaring Werewolf deals combat damage to player, draw a card. So it sheds the discard a card clause. Of course, it's Nightbound.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
On the front side, if it never flipped, this card would actually be pretty good. Being able to just loot and pick at your opponent, that's some good value.
Yeah, doesn't have to attack on its own.
Yeah, looting on its own is pretty stinking nice. And of course, on the backside, if the opponent can't turn it back...
It doesn't have to attack on its own. Is that what you asked? Sorry, Lola.
What? Sorry?
I thought you said...
No, you can attack with other things. It's not Fangblade or Wang Ti Malison or whatever.
Yeah.
Super powerful. I love everything about this. Also a B+.
Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on a B+ as well. This is just so nice. It's like it's so good in every part of the game, and when it becomes Nightbound, it's like it's a clock as well that just cannot be blocked. Beautiful card. B+.
Yep, B+. Not much else to say. It's just powerful, man. Powerful.
Very powerful.
All right, last card of the day. Let's talk about Triskaidekaphile. Oh, Werefolk Looter is good. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. It's Triskaidekaphile. 1 blue, 2 mana total for a creature, human wizard. It's a 1/3. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game. 3 and a blue, 4 mana total to draw a card. Basically, it's a 1/3 that you can pay 4 mana to draw a card, which is not bad. That's pretty good. I like that effect. Pretty stinking reasonable. Also on a creature size that actually survives a pretty decent amount of combat. 3 toughness is kind of nice in the set, being able to fend off a decent amount of things, including decayed tokens. I'm going to put this at a B-.
Same. 1/3 blocks and then draws you cards. B-. Pretty good card. Not busted.
There you
but
go.
good.
B-. Again. Agree.
Oh, that would be it for blue. What do you think, guys?
Seems good. Blue seems good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sad about blue.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
You
that...
think blue's worse than white?
Oh yeah, a lot worse than white to me.
Yeah, I'm not very impressed by blue. Some nice cards, yes.
I think.
But
I don't think blue's that much worse than white. I think they're close. Blue has some really nice commons.
I think white has a lot better commons
overall
and uncommons.
Yeah, but I mean specifically like single good commons.
And a lot better uncommons as well.
Yeah, there are some uncommons in blue that aren't great.
I'm not happy. I'm not that happy with blue. Shit removal, but we're kind of used to that already.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see. Like it can work well with other colors. So this is just vacuum. Like this set is gonna be all about synergy. Seems playable, but yeah, worse than white. Just from the initial standpoint. Okay. Well, we have 3 colors left. We're gonna do that tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Sure. I'm a little bit confused. The row count on the tier list is 268, but there's 272 cards in the set.
The basic lands are counted in this count, right?
Yeah. Basic lands.
Two art copies of each basic land or whatever probably don't get counted.
So
for the tier
8.
list.
So 276. No, that already covers them all. Fair enough.
Yeah, when are we starting tomorrow?
When are we starting tomorrow?
I'm happy to start as early as possible. The earlier the better, actually, because in the evening I need to go get the missus and the baby.
Okay. It should take us less than this to wrap up the other colors as well.
Yeah.
What do you guys say about the same time?
Same time is fine.
Sure. I mean, I can do an hour earlier.
When do you have to leave, Mobius? Like when would be a nice time for
Like,
you to? When is
3
the-
hours before now.
2 hours
It's,
before now?
it's 8:30 for me right now, but I'd need to leave around 5:30.
So wait, you said 2 hours before now? It would be a good time for you to.
3 hours before now is when I'd need to leave.
Okay, then 1 hour sooner if
Let's
Scotty
do
can-
1 hour sooner then. Yep.
Yeah, that would be really good for me.
Okay.
Yep.
To start 2 hours sooner?
No, we can start 1 hour sooner. I don't think we'll need as long tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just going through
Also, setting up
monocolors
will
now.
be faster.
What do you say, Scotty?
Setting up will be faster. 1 hour earlier. Let's
Okay,
go.
1 hour earlier. Like there is not much setting up. If you
Yep.
want, you can just keep these hangouts open
Yeah.
for tomorrow. I'm not gonna even shut on my computer. I'm gonna do everything now to get like those dashes in order and spaces. It seems like OBS
Nice.
cares about those.
Thank
I mean,
you.
we've been doing it. It's not that big a deal. Like if it's too much work, leave it. If you can do it, do it. Otherwise, tomorrow at 11 GMT then. No, today was 11. Tomorrow at 10 GMT.
Yeah, 10
Perfect.
a.m. GMT tomorrow, guys. That's noon CT. And Scotty, care to help with American time?
Huh? I don't have American time? I have no other time
White.
zone than other people.
I know that's true. Yeah, I know. I thought maybe you're closer than us, right?
I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
I don't know.
American
PST
time
on
is
EST.
very-
Like 3 time zones or 4 time zones.
Just
so.
calculate
Yeah, very
it.
early.
10 a.m. GMT. Gonna write it in chat. Gonna announce it on Discord and Twitter. So yeah, see you tomorrow, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Who is doing something? Let's see. Who is doing something? Who is doing what? Who do we have? Huh,
I'm
guys?
gonna go some storybook brawl if anybody wants to pop in, but that's fine.
Looks like Jamie's doing a set review. Amazonian's doing a set review.
Let's host Amazonian. I didn't host Jamie. I hosted Jamie a ton of times. Let's head over to Amazonian. Oh, it seems like it's a share
Alright.
stream. Never mind.
Bye,
See you
guys.
tomorrow. What?
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for voting, so we can see what you are thinking. Also for talking. This is amazing. Like when you're all discussing things with us, that's great. That's just perfect. I was going to be with Neon Kamigawa in my Neon Kamigawa seems fine. It doesn't seem like forced with some Jedi things and so on with the future stuff. It's similar to Kaladesh from the pictures that I saw today. But yeah,
You know what? They were setting this up from original Kamigawa. So I heard.
Oh really?
Because apparently, original Kamigawa was a time travel story back in time. So Kamigawa was always known to be a future set.
Oh.
They traveled
Oh.
2,000 years back in time for original Kamigawa.
Okay, I gotta read
So
more
whatever
about it.
current Kamigawa was always 2,000 years ahead of whatever we saw.
Okay, so wait, the Kamigawa that we were like Legends of what was it?
Like Champions,
Champions, yeah.
Saviors was always set 2,000 years in the
Than
past.
actual Kamigawa. That's pretty cool. But what like about our planes? Are the time that is like the Innistrad set and like Strixhaven, I guess, and everything. Kalkheim.
Yeah, like people are like using crossbows and stuff and swords and stuff, and everyone from Kamigawa at the same time has been flying in like stupid hoverboards and all that shit.
Whoa, wait. So that's at the same time as these planes?
Yeah, it's modern time, but they're just so much more advanced or whatever.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Would be nice to see like invaders of Kamigawa. So how they invade everything else.
Okay, that's exactly what Lola says to do with power. You have technological power, oppress other people. All right, got it.
Yes. I like to play
Got it.
games because then I kill.
Okay. All right, this is great. I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
Ciao, everybody. See ya. Say hello to Amazonian from us. Ciao, ciao.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.